Good morning, everybody. Mestre Sukuri coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Mestre Vibes here on Patreon. Guys, I am feeling fantastic. So many things going on, so many wonderful and positive things. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 2024 Mestre's Challenge notebook that I made, where I put everything together that Mestre Linguista and I will try to accomplish in our teaching next year for our students. Primarily, this is for our adult students, but also so it's a review for us to be ready to be fantastic when we travel next year to Korea and hopefully to Thailand and to different places. So before I jump into that, I want to talk a little bit about my son. Fantastic young man. He's going to turn 17 on Monday. He's actually a Christmas baby. And he's doing YouTube, and he started to make his own shorts, and he's doing a fantastic job. And I'm just really proud of how he's doing things. And one of his videos, they're shorts, so one of his videos is, he said it takes about 30 minutes, and it made me think, right now with so much technology simplifying, that I feel a lot of people are scared of embracing new technology. For example, I use ChatGPT. I actually signed up for the paid version, see if I use it enough, if it's worth it, but I'm trying. And there's a lot of things that AI and new apps, especially video apps, podcast apps, so many things that are out there that it's important that even for me at 52, I constantly need to be studying and moving forward. A big inspiration of that, of course, is all of you guys here on Patreon, because you guys make it all possible. So just a quick shout out to all of you guys for inspiring me, motivating me, and helping me to move forward. Okay, let's get into Mestre Sukuri, Mestre Linguista's manual. Now, I'm going to go through this today because I think it's interesting, and I will also later upload an edited file as best I can, or files of what I do. First, I will make sure that Mestre Linguista and I go through all of this stuff, and the students can download the files and they can make their own checklist and arrange it as best they want. I used to make manuals and training guides and training sheets and all that, but it's a lot of work, so I'm just going to put the files up and let people figure it out for themselves how they want to organize it. For the first page in my notebook is music, the instrument. What are we going to focus on? We're going to focus on the beating bow, the following rhythms of Amazonas, Angola, Apanha Laranja, Barravento, Ijexá, Iuna, Samba de Roda, Santa Maria, Samba do Grande de Angola, and Samba do Grande de Regional. Now, there's a little bit different ways different people play them, but we're going to try to go through all of that and understand the root of how they function in capoeira and musically. For example, Mestre Bimba Samba do Grande Regional would be played with two panderos in the pandero style that Mestre Bimba played it. Then, pandero, we're going to focus on baião, barravento, capoeira, samba, samba de roda, samba reggae, partido alto, and funk. By doing this, you'll have a base of pandero for any scenario or any time that you're involved in Brazilian music. You'll be able to play it, even if it's jazz or even possibly, especially Latin American music. So I'm prepping you guys for an amazing year. So if you'd like to try to do this challenge with us, I recommend you guys to do it too. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll make a quick video so you guys can, study and get better. On the Atabaki, we'll be focusing on number 1, technique. I'm a big supporter of good technique. Most of the people I see playing the Atabaki in the capoeira world have copied it, and it actually doesn't sound very good, and you can really tell, especially when you record or if you're playing with professional musicians. So technique on Atabaki, then banana, which is a 3-6 basic training, capoeira, puxada de rede, samba de roda, samba 1, samba 2 rhythms that we use here, Ijexá and Humpi, Congolais, Humpi, Baja Ventolé, and Humpi. Now, if you notice, we're having a repeat of several different rhythms, and the reason is because on each instrument, they may be expressed a little differently, and as a result of which, it helps you to better internalize the rhythm. So I really want to be able to make some amazing music, and these three rhythms are the basis of, I would say, 90% of Brazilian popular music. If you can learn these three rhythms, you can pretty much function anywhere in Brazilian music. Then we're going to move to the agogô. Tres na cadência, which is just a standard one ghost note, 3, 4, 1. So, and it's that standard cadence of the agogô. The agogô in the swing, which is actually the samba, or what we sometimes call the clave, which is just like. The agogô for Congo, Ijexá, and Barravento. Then we're going to move into music, because we just love music, Mestre Linguiça and I mean, samba, reggae, samba. He calls it pagode. Me, I'm old school, so I call it all samba. It's all basically the same. It's just a little bit different on how you express yourself. So on the Happy Niki Caixa, we're going to learn the funk accent, the 3, 1, 2, 1, Ijexá, Humpi, and Banana Ba. On the chimbal, we're going to be doing the basic samba, reggae, olodum, male de ballet, chimbalada, and funk. On the surdo, we're going to do the basic 1-2, olodum style, 7-5, what I call it, and 113. So this is going to be an easy way to understand the surdos. And then, of course, on the tantan, we're going to have the tantan basic and the tantan 2. We decided to keep it really simple so that we can really focus on improving and getting better. Then, movimentação. I made a list here, and like I said, I might just do PDF files so you guys can put them together in your own way. But, for example, movimentação, or what I'm going to say is the movements of capoeira, we're going to be focusing on the different, I've separated into movimentação, which is like footwork and movement, movimentos das mãos, which is hands, head, everything, chutes, which are kicks, negativas, and entradas. Now, and floreiros. Now, what I'm going to do is as I teach one move, I'll check it off, or I'll figure out a way how to make a list so I can put it on the wall, because I want to make sure that I'm going through everything regularly. And the main reason is, after 23 years of teaching in Japan, sometimes it's really hard to know where everybody is at. So it's easy to get caught up in a rut of a month of just teaching queixada. So what I'm doing next year is really going to focus, especially because we've got so many new students, I'm really going to focus on writing down my classes before I teach, so that even though it's impossible to be perfect and to have every class planned out, I'm going to try to do it as best as I can. That way we can have really high intense energy classes, but also people need to be ready. So 2024, I always joke that I don't babysit, but even less next year. If you're not ready for that part of the class, then ask after class, bring your notebooks, study, and get to it. Okay? If you're not in Tokyo with me, you can always ask me here, and I'll be more than happy to make a video for you guys. Gojira knows that anything for him, so you guys can ask. Movimentação, chutes, movimentos das mãos, so regular movement, including like balançando na ginga to create flow, balançando para o lado, esquiva lateral, those kind of movements. Then, movimentos das mãos includes cabeçada, cotoveladas, defesas das mãos, hand blocks, and palmadas and escalas, for example. Chutes, all the basic kicks in the zoador system. Negativas and entradas, the takedown moves, right? And we'll be doing that more and more. It's interesting because I asked ChatGPT to incorporate all this information and to give me the best training schedule each day. Now, I want to try it for the rest of this month starting tonight. and I want to see how it feels. A lot of times I feel adult classes can get really monotonous because there's no intensity. And I think it's because it's always like kind of just coming in on cruise control, especially for the longer term students. So I really want to get in organized so that people know, be on time, get ready, have the energy, prepare your instruments, and let's go. Then we also have all the floeros, the basic floeros, including aus, macacos, and all the basic things. Then finally, there's still a lot. I made when Mestre Linguiça and I get together, we really love to do music together. And for example, I put all the Zoador CD songs into this manual. So it's all there. Then, after that, I chose about 100 capoeira songs that I feel are mostly connected to the roots of capoeira and to the understanding of Afro-Brazilian culture and malandro culture in capoeira. So a lot of this stuff's a little bit older, but what I feel is the base of capoeira. There's a lot of great new songs. One of my favorite songs is Você não sabe o valor que a capoeira tem. But for my goal next year of teaching the cultural aspects of capoeira, the songs that I chose here, for example, old school, Acordão de Ouro, Senzala, a lot of stuff that's really made for capoeira people back in the day, not contemporary capoeira music. Although there are some songs in there. There's about 100 of those. Let me see. Then after that, we have Puxada de Rede, and I have standard Puxada de Redes. Puxada de Rede is a very important aspect of capoeira because it's the folkloric, right? It creates a lot of swing. It creates this, it's a higher level of axé connection for me, so it's a really important thing to do. Makulele songs. And finally, I chose about 10, and we're going to add a couple more, samba and samba reggae songs. And the reason is, guys, I'm 52. Mestre Linguiça will be 50 next year. And we want to have fun. I always made this point, like, I talked to Contra Mestre Vaquero and Mestre, my brain's dead, hold on. Mestre Recruta in San Francisco, who's pretty much second in line after Mestre Accordion in Mestre Accordion's lineage. And we love doing the music and playing songs. And one of the big things that attracted us to capoeira was not just the capoeira, but the Brazilian culture around it. And it really is different if you're involved in other aspects of Brazilian culture besides just capoeira. I know some people have different ways of doing things, but the whole thing for me when I do music, and I've mentioned, is it important for non-Brazilians to sing capoeira songs? And in Portuguese, and I say, well, they don't understand what it means, so what's the point? You might as well have AI singing the songs. It's important only if you guys are studying the music, what they mean, and understanding the cultural background of the music. Now, that's going to put a lot of pressure on teachers to understand, but that's the whole point. Do you have to be fluent in Portuguese to be a mestre of capoeira? I don't think so. I do believe you have to be able to be fluent in the language of capoeira, which can be translated into English, Thai, Korean, Taiwanese, Japanese, anything, but you have to be able to speak about it in the context of capoeira culture, not in the context of your own culture analyzing capoeira. It's very different. One of my favorite songs that I'm studying right now is Voz do Morro, and I'm really looking forward to singing that with people. And if people train those rhythms that we put out there in the beginning, then we'll be able to come together and really create a lot of energy. The reason that it's important that we're all on the same page is because bands practice together, but the music of capoeira, people aren't really bands. They don't really practice together unless part of the same group. So there's a lot of mismatching and a lot of, my opinion is that in Asia, there is no quality control. of capoeira. That's probably the main reason that I get kind of uninterested in a lot of things, because my whole career of capoeira was quality controlled by Brazilian and Brazilian cultures on me. I'm not saying discrimination. I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm saying quality control. You're out. That percent, the word isn't pronounced that way. Or this is that. And I had a lot of quality control. And it's very important that we maintain that, to maintain the higher level of capoeira. It reminds me of a story Mestre Acordeon once told me, where he said, the reason it's getting more and more difficult for people to get accordion, for example, when he was at Mestre Vibes' place, I think, this is what I think, what I've researched and saw, is people would get their blue, sash or blue scarf made of silk after 6 months, and that was already a formado, because it was a course at the time, Mestre Bimba, that's the way he did it. But today, to get a blue cordon, there's so much involved. I've raised a lot of capoeiristas in 23 years, and I'm really thinking of going back to my original plan of what I made for myself, my nephew, Bojan, and what I made for Mestre Linguiça. And people can, take a look at that, and that'll be like, let's say, what a well-qualified capoeirista should be. I did that in our first notebook, Capoeira Zoador manual. So hopefully, I'll put that up, and I'm trying to redecorate the academia a little bit so that I can put stuff up that makes it easier to train and to practice. But I want to be a lot more organized so that I not only can give the best experience for new students coming in, but the best experience for the adults who have been here for 20 years, at the same time, never surrendering my unending passion and dedication to the art I love, capoeira and Afro-Brazilian music and culture. Just for you guys, I'm the voz do morro, the sound of the hillside. I am samba. I am the voice of the hillside. That's me, sir. I want to show the world that I have value. I'm the king of the terreiros. I'm samba. I'm naturally from here, from Rio de Janeiro. I'm the one who carries a happiness for a lot of Brazilians and a lot of Brazilian hearts. Who's asking about this is the voice of the people of a country. For the samba, we keep singing this melody of a happy Brazil. And this song is so powerful and creates so much axé. Eu sou o samba, a voz do morro sou eu mesmo, sim senhor. Quero mostrar ao mundo que tenho valor. Eu sou o rei dos terreiros, eu sou o samba. Sou natural daqui do Rio de Janeiro. Sou quem leva a alegria para milhões de corações brasileiros. Mais um samba, queremos samba. Quem está pedindo a voz do povo de um país pelo samba? Vamos cantando esta melodia de um Brasil feliz. I've got 10, 12 songs that I feel would create the best energy. And I'm going to be pushing really hard from tonight for my students here in Tokyo. My goal has never been to be the best capoeira team in the world, nor to be the biggest. But man, damned if we ain't the coolest. And we're going to be even cooler. So let's get to it. All the people around the world who support me and do learn and support and do capoeira, get involved, because I'm coming for you guys. We're going to have the best 2024, and I'm not holding back. I'm just going to don't think it's impolite. If you ain't ready, sit on the bench, because you got to be ready, right? That's capoeira. That's capoeira lifestyle. If you go in the roda, you need to be ready. Tem que ser bem preparado. Guys, I feel fantastic. Tonight, I have a very special announcement. 9 p.m. Friday tonight, January. I'll get my cell phone. I can't even see what the date is today. January 20th, 22nd, I will be on Mestre Sabara TV, which is a very well-known. He's got about 7,000 followers on Instagram. So I will be on his program tonight, and I'll be posting that later so you guys can check. And I'll try to post a link inside this message, okay? Guys, have a fantastic day. If you want to check out my notebook and whatnot, come on in. I'm going to upload these different files today, and we're going to get to it. Guys, have a blessed day. Lots of love, lots of peace, and lots of capoeira. Mestre Sukuri, Mestre Vibes, Tokyo, Japan.